The human mind is capable of fantastic feats. A great imagination, strong willpower, and constant effort, and we can accomplish everything. But what happens when imagination fails us? Let's observe more closely. And here we are, beyond the bounds of creativity. And what do we find? Of course, a solitary capybara.
So it turns out 2023 had a lot in store for us. Our reach grew, we had a sale at our uni, got some neat business cards, and finished our first game ever with some positive reactions.
I almost forgot. Take this with you. It might help. Thanks, Pip. Pip's Guide. Search the apartment.
So what's next? We want to make more games, of course. I thought game dev was a very impossible dream since I had and still have no clue how to code whatsoever. But since we made saucy adventures, albeit with blueprints, this area became much more accessible and ideas started pouring through. I was closely following the release of Tim Reptile's Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio. Once it was out, I bought it and I loved it. The functionality of the music struck me in particular. Every song was refusing to take a back seat. The way it was integrated through the flip phone, serving as a menu screen, I thought was very interesting. Not only was it a great way to sort of canonize a user interface, but it actually justified as to why the music sounded like radio hits. Because they were. I started thinking of ways how I could include music more into a video game format. So cue in HIT DOJO. Set in a retro-futuristic world, this will be a music-making game with elements of exploration and farming. With the help of your sensei, learn about rhythm, chords, music history, and other concepts through fun minigames. Use gadgets such as the mic grapple to record and collect sounds scattered throughout the city, and put them in your creations to later distribute to a thriving audience. Grow your music vinyls in the dojo garden and climb the charts. We'll go more in depth about narrative, gameplay, and music in other future videos. For now, here's our 4 playable characters: Wolfinne, Dillo, Iki, and Odie. In order to announce the start of development, I thought it would be a cool idea to give each a little animated introduction, sort of like a music video. Here's the one I did for Wolfinne. For inspiration, I looked at old school rap videos. I noticed that a lot of them use the fisheye lens. It is a great way to have a close-up look at the artist while also squeezing in a lot of the background information. It gave me the opportunity to get away with some pretty wonky proportions, and that's always a plus. So let's draw out the perspective grid. Alright, so now we can start placing objects to define our space. For Wolfinne, I chose to put her in a grocery shop. That meant a towering illuminating fridge, a pastry section, glossy tiled floor, loud neon lights, and other candy and goodie aisles. A lot of opportunity for fun lighting, overlapping of forms, foreshortening, and other fun perspective stuff. Mapped out the environment, let's move on to our character. I kept my line art very sketchy as I was only concerned with making the angles look believable. I put Wolfinne in 3 locations where she moves to music, getting her more close to the camera with each position. The free transform and warp functions were very useful at this stage, as I could just duplicate the previous frame and adjust body parts separately instead of drawing Wolfinne from zero again. The basic movement is pretty much done. Next, I really wanted to get the materials of the environment to look right. My rendering technique at the moment is pretty much this. Put down the base colors, then on masked layers I put shadow and highlight definitions. The key to a good painting is knowing when to end a color abruptly and when to blend it with the neighboring value to convey your desired shape. I use a combination of the polygonal lasso tool, a gradient with one of its ends set to transparency, and a simple round or square brush. For finishing touches, I create new masked layers and play with blending modes. We're finally at the comping stage. Here you can give your animations so much more flair by mimicking a real camera and playing with blurs, fades, hue correction and other effects. To give the illusion of depth, I used a similar trick to the one in the parallax video, separated the background into two planes and gave them different effects values according to their camera distance. A few cuts and sound effects later and we're done. I leave you with a time lapse of the whole process. Enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out the Pink Floyd 50th anniversary competition entry and Dillo's animation promo on our socials. Please leave suggestions for the future of HIT DOJO. We want to involve people as much as possible. If you wish to support us, our commissions are open and we're starting our Etsy shop in January 2024. Have a happy New Year's and see ya!